Hey guys, my name is KittyW25. Welcome back to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Last time we started episode 3, Turnabout Samurai. We did the first day investigation, and now we're going to day 2, trial. How much do you know about Drawser 2.0? I know that you got a new cam and you got design layout, streams, scenes, and designs and stuff. I don't know. I go on Twitter every now and then and see that. Knew everything but streamer, yeah. What, even a microphone? Yikes, dude. October 18. Wait, October 18? It went from October 16 to October 18. Anyway, October 18, 10 a.m., District Court, courtroom number 4. Let's go. Here I can get some Miles Edgeworth and my glasses are dirt. Hang on a sec. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. Your opening statement, please. The prosecution will show the court that at 2:30 p.m. on October 15, the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, killed fellow actor Jack Hammer in Studio 1 of Global Studios. Yeah, dude, Will Powers. I love the localization names. It is impossible for anyone else to have committed this heinous crime. The evidence presented during the trial will all point to this fact. I see. Very well, I would like to move on to some testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, the prosecution may call its first witness. Very well, I call a most familiar face, Detective Gumshoe, to the stand. Oh yeah, I just realized. Will Powers, Willpower, Jackhammer, the names. I think I just spilled some water over myself. How? Detective, if you would briefly describe this case to the court. Yes, sir. I'll explain with the guide map here. To understand this case, it's important to grasp the layout of the studio. See? This here is the employee area. The actors did a run-through of their action scenes during the morning here. Oh, I spilled it on my pants. That's where the water went. I was like, why is my shirt? This is the main gate to the studios. The security lady that works at the studios was here at 1 p.m. on that day. Past the security station, there is a gate, see? Past that are the studios. And here it is, Studio 1. This is the scene of the murder, where the body was found. Now, on the day of the murder, October 15, there were only 3 people here. The victim, Jack Hammer, the defendant, Will Powers, and a young woman, the production assistant. Where's the director? That's what I'm asking. Okay, or at the very least, the choreographer. Hang on, I'm fixing my hair. Hang on. At the very least, the choreographer for the action sequence should be there during the rehearsal, or the director. Why is the assistant there? The production assistant and not the director. All the production staff were in the employee area until noon. Then, after lunch, the victim, Jack Hammer, went to Studio 1. Right after that, at 1 p.m., the security lady got to the guard station. Now jump ahead to later that day, 5 p.m. The production staff came to the Studio 1 to perform a rehearsal. Needless to say, I can't read. Needless to say, the rehearsal was cancelled. The time of death was 2:30 p.m. The samurai spear found lodged in the victim's chest was the murder weapon. That's the case. In brief. Anyone like to hear that again? Should I listen to that whole thing again? I guess I can listen again, maybe? Now that we know that repeating it again means nothing, we can just skip it. I think I can probably remember that. So the murder weapon was a spear? How medieval. Samurai spear added to the court record. The spear was found stuck in the chest of the victim. Your Honor, this case is quite simple if you ask one question. And that question is, what did the security lady at the guard station see? Understood. Let's call the security officer to the stand. Will the witness declare her name? Oh, this is gonna suck, doing her voice.
My, aren't you a handsome fellow? I'm afraid I'm a bit flustered.
Your name, please.
Oh, dearie, no need for you to be embarrassed. Just call me Grandma.
Your name, please. Seems Edgeworth has a bit of trouble getting his witnesses to say their names.
Wendy Oldbag, dearie. So just call me Grandmother. So even when I was young, I was an old bag, still one of the other children, believe it. But there was this boy, the captain of the chest. He called me an old bag, so I'm just like...
I love this game so much. The characters just, oh, beautiful. Like, oh, beautiful. Objection. I object to the witness's talkativeness. Objection sustained. The witness will refrain from rambling on the stand.
I was just getting to the good part, dearie.
Perhaps we can get to the testimony. Now, the witness was stationed at the main gate on the day of the murder, correct?
Yes, see, I was.
And to get to the scene of the murder, someone would have to pass by you?
You know your stuff, dearie.
You may begin your testimony. I love the pause. She sure is one hell of an old bag. I need to be quiet now. Hang on. I need to do some ASMR. This is going to be pretty difficult with the voices.
On the day of the murder...
Okay. My sister is going to bed. It's past midnight. That's my explanation. For ASMR. I'm sorry, guys.
On the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1 p.m. Poor old Hammer and the rest had been doing a run-through there since the morning. I had some errands to run that morning. Anyway, it was 1 when I got to the guard station. I was at the main gate from then until 5. Now, the murder happened at 2:30, right? Interesting to me because a certain man walked right by me at 2 p.m. It was Powers, the man right there, and he was heading towards the studio.
You saw the defendant then? Very well, let's begin the cross-examination. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. As always, we're gonna press everything. So up until that time, anyone who wanted to could go into the studio?
Well, there wasn't a security guard over the gate, no. But the main gate was locked, dearie. You need an employee card key to get in.
The card key that I have. So what she's saying is no one who wasn't supposed to be there could get in. Was there anyone at the studios when you arrived at the guard station? A run-through?
They were working out a scene between the Steel Samurai and the Evil Magistrate. They got the basics figured out by noon and were to use the afternoon for practice. Rehearsal was supposed to start at 5. That's why poor old Hammer went to the studio 1 in the afternoon.
So Powers was in his dressing room sleeping when he was supposed to be practicing. Talk about a laid-back hero. If there was a run-through in the morning, why did you only get there afternoon? I had some errands. What kind of errands?
Oh, well, you know.
Answer the question. We're explaining it now.
Actually, I was watching poor Hammer and Powers, observing, you know.
Observing? Weren't you supposed to be at the guard station?
Whippersnapper, I told you I locked the gate, didn't I? I did my job.
I'm not sure your boss would see it that way.
Anyway, I always watch Hammer's run-throughs, always. Never missed one in all my years.
Wow, I want to see a Steel Samurai run-through too. You could quit being a spirit medium and take up guard duty. What a bad idea. Did you see the victim then?
Did I see poor old Hammer? No. He'd already gone to the studio before I got back to the guard station.
Tell us what happened next. So you were watching there the whole time? No breaks? Not even a second?
Of course, I'm a professional, you know. Why are you criticizing how I do my job, whippersnapper?
No, it's just after seeing you eating those donuts in the guard station yesterday.
I can watch the gate and eat donuts at the same time. Snipper-wapper.
Snipper-wapper? Old Windbag is losing it, Nick. Why don't you raise an objection? So the witness was on duty through the afternoon the whole time very well. What did you see? How did you know that?
Oh, I had my ways. That overdressed young detective told me. I fed him some donuts and he talked and talked. If you ask me, that detective isn't cut out for his job.
That's mean. That's mean. Dick Gumshoe is one of the best characters in the whole game. Okay, like, lovable to hell. Poor Detective Gumshoe, getting ratted out by a security guard. 2 o'clock. You're sure?
Sure spit.
Well, who was that man?
Really, you should try not to get so excited at your age. You might strain something.
Pretty sure she's older than him, but...
Now, don't get your skivvies all in a bunch. I'll tell you who it was.
Miss Powers, that man right there, and he was heading toward the studio. So you saw Mr. Powers?
That's what I said. Got wax in your ears, Sonny?
Nick, this is your chance. Yeah, time to pull out the secret weapon.
I'll say it once again. It was him.
I guess it wants us to present the photo.
Objection!
Yeah, it did. Let me get this straight, old bag. Miss Old Bag. You've been saying since yesterday that you saw Mr. Powers, correct? But you're talking about the man in this photo, aren't you? Just a moment, Mr. Wright. Let me see that photo. What is this exactly? None other than the Steel Samurai, defender of near oldie Tokyo. Miss Oldbag, is this the Mr. Powers that you saw?
Of course. Didn't your mama teach you any sense, Sonny? Anyone can plainly see that's Powers, right?
No, they can't. Well, I mean, I wonder. True, Mr. Powers does play the role of the Steel Samurai. But that doesn't mean Mr. Powers is the Steel Samurai.
I know that. I wasn't born yesterday.
No one in this court is accusing you of that, Miss... witness. He's having trouble calling her old bag, apparently. However, you do not have proof that the person in this photo is Mr. Will Powers, do you?
Nosy old man. Of course I have proof.
What? Huh? Even Edgeworth is surprised? The prosecution would like to ask the witness. Please make known all the information in your possession ahead of time.
How was I supposed to know? Everyone will be so nosy. You should be ashamed. Oh, yes. Anyway, I showed that photo to the young detective. He told me this isn't any good as evidence, pal. He didn't even give it a second look.
Wow, old Windbag has left even Edgeworth speechless. She's good. Let's hear about your proof then. Alright.
I never say anything I don't mean, mind you. That morning during the run-through of the action scene, I saw Powers trip and fall. He broke one of those props. It was a big mess. Apparently he sprained his ankle pretty bad. Now look at that picture. You can see he's dragging his legs, see? Clear as day. That's how I knew it was Powers. Happy?
So he had sprained his ankle. Very well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. She's got to be hiding something. I'll press her until she squeals. Alright. Pressing again. Whippersnapper. Hey, I haven't said anything yet.
I'll have you know I'm not pointing fingers at anyone behind their backs. Everything I've said is on the straight and narrow. The up and up. You today always pointing about each other, pointing fingers. It's enough to make an old...
Mr. Wright, please, for all our sakes, try not to upset the witness. I think Edgeworth has met his match. Good morning during the run-through of the action scene. Who was present at the run-through?
Well, let's see. There were Powers. He's the Steel Samurai. Then Old Hammer, the Evil Magistrate. And me.
And what exactly were you doing?
Observing. Just observing.
What about the assistant?
Oh, she was off moving backdrops around and such.
So she didn't see the run-through then? So... Oh, whoops. So Powers fall. Trip and fall.
Yes, and to think he's supposed to be the Steel Samurai. What a laugh. So Powers sprained his ankle. I helped make it better for him, of course.
You helped make it better?
I kissed it where it hurt.
Let's just skip over that part, shall we? Where was the assistant then?
Oh, her? She was cleaning up backdrops, I think. She didn't know about Powers' ankle.
You may continue your testimony. Broke one of the props, it was a big mess.
He broke a prop? Sure did. His own samurai spear.
His samurai spear, the murder weapon?
Luckily, I was there with my duct tape to fix it.
This strikes me as a significant detail. I better write this down in the court record. Murder weapon, a break in the shaft has been mended with duct tape.
Apparently he sprained his ankle pretty bad.
Wait, why am I reading that part? Was Mr. Powers' ankle badly sprained?
Not so bad that he couldn't walk around. He went to his dressing room to rest up after lunch.
Thus the nap.
Anyway, I saw him dragging his foot when he walked.
Dragging his foot, okay. I think we've heard enough, haven't we, Your Honor? Well, there is one thing that bothers me. Which is? Where is this Steel Samurai costume now? Actually, well, we couldn't find it. We're looking, though. Anyway, that's not important. The witness did see the Steel Samurai, yes. And it is clear that the person in the Steel Samurai suit was Mr. Will Powers. I suppose that's right. Are you sure you're sure, Your Honor? Hold it right there. We keep talking possibilities, but we have to agree that this photo shows the Steel Samurai. Nowhere in this photo can we see Mr. Will Powers. The defense has a point. I also wonder if someone else not caught on camera could have killed Mr. Hammer. We have to consider that possibility also. Then allow me to remove that doubt from your mind, Your Honor. Will the witness continue her testimony, please?
No need to ask twice.
Oh my gosh, there's more.
The time of Paul Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m., true? The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will Powers. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them.
So if no one else went to the studio, then it would have to be this Steel Samurai who did it. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. What? What can I cross-examine? How do you know that?
Didn't I just explain? I gave donuts to the young detective. And then after some rubbish about being a secret pal, he told me everything.
I see Detective Gumshoe shares his fellow officer's fondness for donuts. Are you absolutely sure?
Oh, quite, son. Nobody suspicious looking passed by at all.
Nobody suspicious looking? Right.
No one else.
What about before you got to the guard station?
You mean before 1 p.m.? Everyone was in the employee area before then. And I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Not to mention...
If they had, I would have seen it. Are you sure? The witness has answered the question. Anyone going into the studio had to pass by the witness.
That's right, Sonny. You let him have it, edgy boy.
Edgy boy. Old Windbag sure has balls, or... Well, you know what I mean. Old Windbags have a way of skipping over important details after all. Or, for that matter, entirely forgetting them. How convenient. Something for you to look forward to, perhaps. Okay. No, I pressed the wrong button. Let's think this through. Let's think this through. Alright. We gotta present something. Okay, let's take a... Okay. In the backdrop, we know... In the backdrop... Okay, I need to have my mouse on this, so this is gonna move this a bit smaller, right? But, let's... No, that's not... But, let's move this down here. Let's move my face here, okay? Because... In the backdrop of the main gate, we see it from this area. Right, so the guard station is on the left here. To the right is the employee area. To the left is the gate, right? So then, in the gate splash art, right, outside of Studio 1 splash art, we see we're in this position here. We see Studio 1 to the right, Studio 2 to the left. There's the mascot here, and it's fallen over. On the splash art, the camera is positioned this way, going this way. So, Killer would have needed to go from right to left, right? So let's see if the picture shows right to left. It is showing right to left, right? But it's photo number 2. Wait. Photo number 2, that's the thing. Wait. I think this is where I present. Yeah, I was right. Hold on. Look at this photograph one more time. This photo was taken by the camera at the gate for the studios, correct?
Yes, sirree, Sonny.
So whenever anyone passes by here, it automatically takes a picture?
And here I thought you didn't know your head from a hole in the ground.
Right. Anyway, it's also true that the computer in the guard station records all security cam data.
Oh, you know, if you wanted to work at the studio, we might have an opening.
That very computer printed out this photo. Note that on the back of the photo are printed the words October 15, 2 p.m, photo number 2.
Even I know what that means. I know that means it was taken at 2 p.m. on October the 15th. Really, Sonny?
Actually, I knew that too. The issue here is the bit at the end where it says photo number 2.
Photo number 2?
The computer only held data for one photo on that day. Don't you think that's odd? Shouldn't this photo be photo number 1 if it really was the only photo?
Oh, he's right. It's basic math.
Order. Please tell the court what you mean by this, Mr. Wright. Actually, that's what I want to ask the witness. This evidence shows that not 1, but 2 people went to the studio that day. Yet, there is only data for one of the photos. Who could have erased the data for the other photo? Only someone with access. The security lady herself.
Me? You watch your mouth, whippersnapper. The only person I saw that day was Will Powers.
But the camera on the gate fired twice. That means 2 people went by.
Well, yes, that's what it would seem to me.
Can the witness explain this to the court?
I don't understand these newfangled computer things. Hitsy boy, help.
Believe me, I want to, but I don't know what this means either.
Some help you are. You're a whippersnapper too. Whippersnapper?
Something the matter, Miss Oldbag?
Ah, that's right. I just remembered something.
Let me guess. Someone else passed by the gate. Someone other than the Steel Samurai?
Well, yes, I suppose you could put it that way.
I see. Your testimony, please. Oh my goodness, there's so many testimonies for her.
Every day after I've finished my guard duties, I have one other important job to do. I go through the photos recorded on the security computer and check them. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see. Come to think of it, now I remember throwing out one photo that day.
Miss Oldbag, this is the first I've heard of this.
Well, of course, Sonny, I've only just remembered it.
Right. Anyway, Mr. Wright, please begin the cross-examination.
Well, I'd say this was a turn for the unexpected, but I kind of expected this.
Alrighty, let's press everything as always. Another job?
That's right. I check all the people that pass by the main gate that day. I look closely at every one of the photos that security camera takes.
Do you back up all the security camera data?
Well, they keep telling me to, yes. But those computers are just so frustrating.
Alrighty. How exactly do you determine what isn't suspicious looking?
Oh, you can tell by looking at their faces for the most part.
For the most part? This is a murder trial, Miss Oldbag.
Well, I didn't touch that suspicious looking Will Powers' photo, did I?
I think she's missing the point. The thing of it. Well, who in the heck was in that photo you erased?
A fanboy.
Fanboy?
Steel Samurai fanboys, real freaks if you ask me. They get information about the rehearsals from gosh knows where. They're always hanging about. One were there that day.
Wait a second. Didn't you just say no one else could get in? I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Those were your words.
Well, if you must know, there's a drain that goes into the employee area. The grate that has been loose for a while. It leads outside, and well, that's where they come in.
They come in through the drain?
I told you they were freaks. Oh, and they're kids, children, whippersnappers.
Kids? So in the photo that you erased?
It was a boy, probably 2nd or 3rd grade.
What? Order. Let me get this straight. You saw 2 people pass by the gate on their way to the studios that day. One was the Steel Samurai dragging his leg. The other was a boy who looked to be in about 2nd or 3rd grade.
Oh yes, well, we see his type there every day. Can't stop him, can't catch him.
Boy in 2nd or 3rd grade. I assume it would be hard, if not impossible, for a young boy to wield the samurai spear. Impossible, I think. It's quite heavy.
Right. As I said, I didn't pay him much mind. That's why I erased the data.
Nick, what's going on? I mean, the boy who was there, that makes him a suspect. Yeah, they're already trying to unsuspect him. This court will take a 5-minute recess. I want the defense and the prosecution to consider this new information. And no forgetting vital information this time. October 18, 11:08 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby Number 3. Mr. Powers.
Yes?
Tell me straight, were you really in your dressing room? You didn't go to the studio?
I didn't go to the studio. I was sleeping. Honest.
I have forgotten his voice already. So, who was the Steel Samurai in that security photo?
How should I know? The Steel Samurai costume was off the corner of the room.
I didn't read that properly.
Anyone could have walked in and taken it, really.
What? You should take better care of that stuff.
I couldn't imagine anyone would want to steal a Steel Samurai costume. So, where does this leave me?
It doesn't look good. You're the only likely suspect right now.
Nick,
What are we going to do? First, we play for more time. We'll start targeting someone else that could conceivably have done this. Right. And it'll take them so long to shoot us down that we can get another day. Right, but if we pick the wrong person, we might lose on the spot.
You don't sound very optimistic.
I'm not optimistic at all, actually. Hey, Nick, it's time. Okay, let's go.
What does that mean? Please don't sigh like that.
Court will now reconvene for the trial of Mr. Willpowers. Mr. Edgeworth, will you present the prosecution's thought on this matter? The prosecution's thoughts are simple. Nothing has changed. The other person who went to the studios was a boy of roughly 10 years of age. The photo we do have may not be hard evidence, but there is still no one else that could have committed this crime. I call for a verdict of guilty for the defendant, Mr. Willpowers. Very well. Mr. Wright, your thoughts? The defense disagrees with the prosecution's claim. There is another person who could have committed this crime. Order! Interesting. Let us hear who you have in mind. However, be aware that this court does not look kindly on accusing the innocent. Okay. If you accuse someone who is obviously innocent, you will be penalized. Right. Great, as if the stakes weren't high enough. So who do you think this person, other than Mr. Powers, that could have committed the murder? I think. Please be right. It was the security lady, Wendy Oldbag.
who?
The Steel Samurai is dragging his leg in this picture. That means whoever was in the suit knew about that morning's injury. Maybe because they had been watching the action scene run through. There was only one person other than Powers or Hammer who knew about the injury. The security lady, Oldbag.
What? Whippersnapper?
Order! Order! Is this true, Oldbag?
Oldbag? What's Miss Oldbag to you?
Miss Oldbag was standing guard alone at the main gate. She was by herself. In other words, she has no alibi. She could have briefly left her post to steal the Steel's Samurai, saying steal and steal so quickly after another. Her post to steal the Steel Samurai costume. Then slipped into Studio 1, the scene of the murder. My voice. Why would she go through the trouble of wearing the Steel Samurai costume? Simple, Your Honor. She knew the camera at the gate would take a picture. If she was in his costume, she could point the finger at Mr. Powers. I see. Excellent deductive reasoning, Mr. Wright. Oh yeah, right here. Sherlock Holmes 2, baby. That's odd. Isn't this the part where Edgeworth pounces? Doesn't he usually jump up with an objection and some new damning advice? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, does the prosecution have an opinion on this matter? The prosecution has no meaningful objections at this time.
What? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, so you all think I did it, is that it? Edgy boy, don't just stand there, do something.
What's my move? Maybe now's my chance to take this the whole way? The very same reasoning that makes Mr. Powers the suspect in this case can be used to cast doubt on Miss Oldbag's actions on that day.
But why would I do something so horrible to Paul Hammer?
You forget that Mr. Powers lacks a clear motive too. Indeed. That did it. Now, Windbag is one of the suspects. No hard feelings, I hope.
Wait just a minute. What about the other person who went to the studio? The boy, the one whose photo I erased.
He's only a grade schooler though. As you said, 2nd or 3rd grade, was it?
That doesn't matter. When I was that age, I could pin my old man in 10 seconds tops.
Your thoughts, Mr. Wright. That boy is not the killer.
What? How can you be so sure? Oh, is it be nice to the kids and mean to your elders day, whippersnapper?
I have proof.
Proof?
Indeed? Then let's see this proof, Mr. Wright. You have proof that shows the boy could not have committed this murder. I don't know what the proof is. Is it the card key?
Take that!
The scene of the murder, as we all know, was Studio 1. However, you need a card key to enter Studio 1. How could a boy with no formal relation to the studios have a card key? I see. Well, would the witness care to comment on this? The windbag. Speechless. This has got to be a first. Very well. This court will suspend proceedings on the current trial for today. Mr. Edgeworth, please find out more about your witness, Miss Windy. What was his name? Something old bag, Your Honor. Then the prosecution will look further into this old bag before we continue. That is all. This court is adjourned.
Nice. Wait a second.
Oh my goodness, you're still going?
I'm not going to just sit here while you run off barking up the wrong tree. Me? I'm talking.
Oh great, stop the presses. The windbag wants to talk. Miss Oldbag, what is this all about? Have you admitted something from your testimony?
Actually, if you must know, there's something I was told not to talk about.
Not to talk about? By whom? Huh? You mean it wasn't Edgeworth that told her not to talk? Well, testify. Oh my goodness, dude, it's still going. Oh, my face is still at the bottom. Hang on, I'll fix it up again. Okay.
Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something. There were some other people at the studio on the day of the murder. They said they had nothing to do with it, see? So they told me to just pretend they hadn't been at the studios that day. But if you're going to go accusing me, I'm not letting them get away scot-free.
Miss Oldbag, this is crucial information. Why did you keep this from the court until now?
Ain't you been listening? They told me to shut my trap, and I always do what I'm told.
No, this isn't a bad dream, Your Honor. Witness the power of the old bag. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. Alright, Global Studios wanted to keep... I think I know what to do here. There was something I need to do here. Who were these people?
Well, the director and the producer for starters.
The director? I was asking about the director. We should have known something was fishy. How could they have done a run-through of their action scene without a director? Oh my goodness, dude. Of course.
Yes, well, I was surprised no one asked about it.
So where were these people?
The director was in the employee area all morning for the run-through. He joined the producer around lunchtime and they had a meeting after that.
Where?
Oh, in the Studio 2 trailer.
Studio 2? It was a Studio 2?
Well, if you look at the guide map, here it is. You go through the gate and all the way to the left.
The path where the monkey's head was fallen over. Well, Mr. Wright, would you like to continue the cross-examination? I think I've already asked all my questions, but... This old bag, this is a trial for murder.
I know that's silly. Still, they were pretty convincing about having nothing to do with it. And they gave me a little bonus on the side.
So you got your bonus and you still talked. Okay, so I think the game wants me to take a break. Your Honor, we have learned there were others at Global Studios on the day in question. The director and the producer and some bigwigs were all present. Yet, as we stand here, they have not been questioned. I hold that it is impossible to declare a verdict on the defendant, Mr. Powers. The court acknowledges the defense's point. The prosecution will gather more information about the witness, Miss Oldberg, and more information about these other people we have just been told of.
I understand, Your Honor.
This ends the day's proceedings in the trial of Mr. Will Powers. That is all. This court is adjourned. And we're done. We're done for the day, I think. No, for this part. We'll go to be continued soon. October 18, 1:04 p.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 3.
Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. I was right to ask you to defend me.
Oh, really? It's nothing. Or should I? We'll be going down to the studios to do some more investigating. We have to find out more about this director and producer. They'll be turning up in the next trial as witnesses for certain. So now's my chance to get material for the cross-examination. So Nick, have we figured out just who it was in that steel samurai costume? Could it really have been old Windbag? What do you think, Mr. Powers?
I don't think it was her, really.
Neither do I, Nick. Yeah, I know. Look, I was just buying time back there. Someone had to be the bad guy for a bit to take the pressure off Mr. Powers. Old Windbag, I kind of feel sorry for her. Well, she wasn't winning any points in there, with or without my accusation. Okay, let's get down to the studios. Right, we'll be back to visit you soon.
Thanks. Thanks, guys.
Okay. Well, it's 40, basically 12:40. I'm gonna have to say goodnight here. Hope you guys enjoyed that video. I'm gonna say the progress. Hope you guys enjoyed that video. Please give the video a like, subscribe, or write me a comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one.